Apostle Peter wrote, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." Casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. The church service should not just be about a ritual, about a routine, but it should be about an interaction with God. And if we don't know how to interact with God, then it ought to be a learning experience. And interacting with God always involves a response from you. Always requires worship, praise, the act of faith. It's your words being spoken. It's your hands being raised. It's your body being in movement. It's your emotions being engaged. It requires you to interact with God. And there is a great value that happens to us when we learn to interact with God. When we're not too educated, when we're not too sophisticated, when we're not too comfortable, when we're not too shy, whenever we're not just willing to hide, but we're willing to pursue God. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Praise God. God bless you. You may be seated. The reason why we wait some time is because we get our cues from the chief shepherd. And where he leads, we'll follow. I was called to go check on a home. When I got there, knocked on the door. The lady that answered the door was a bit guarded. I was a stranger. Explained my purpose. Flashed the badge that I had at the time. And she allowed me in. And I began to walk through the rooms of the house. There was barely a path that you could walk through in the house. In any room. Living room, kitchen, bedrooms, bathroom. It's just enough to walk, sometimes sideways. Everything else was packed up. Furniture, electronics, instruments of different kinds, tools, clothing, no less than 4 feet high, sometimes all the way to the ceiling. Didn't know what clothes were clean, what clothes were dirty. There was trash in there, sometimes in a trash bag, a lot of times out of the trash bag. Food there, some of it half-eaten, discarded, some of it molded, began to decay. Toys, some good, some broken. Packaging from various shippers. Discarded items. Old birthday balloons. Some of them inflated. Some of them no longer inflated. The air's gone out. An assortment of tools all went out. In the kitchen, dishes, pots, pans, nothing in the cupboards, everything on the counters. on top of each other. I don't think any of them were clean. Everything. Slight paths to the bedrooms, to the beds, to the bathroom, to the fridge. And that was about it. Sometimes we go through life and we have a hard time letting go of some things. Where you live, the trash comes every week. Sometimes twice a week. And so you get all the boxes and the plastic containers and the things that we recycle and the things that we can't recycle, wrappings and unfinished food and things that were thrown away and things that are just going to take up space and tore up clothing and everything else just all goes out to the curb so that when the garbage truck comes or the recycling truck comes, they can pick it up. We go to the stores and we buy clean clothes and nice clothes, and we're proud of them, at least the first couple of times we put them on. And gradually, though, those clothes become dirty, muddy, sweaty, and smelly. Grease, stains on them of different kinds. And rather than throw them out, we've learned a process that if we can get them to the washing machine, if we can add some detergent in there and put it through a cycle and then maybe dry it afterwards, that those clothes are kind of new again. And you can wear them and they be nice and they don't stink. They've been laundered. The body, if we're going to be healthy, has to get rid of some stuff. Has to get rid of waste, of infections, viruses, toxins that build up in the body, poisons. Because if things build up and we don't have a consistent process of getting rid of them, then disease sets in. And sometimes we're in a lot of pain because of some little thing the body built up and was not able to process and get rid of. And when we look at it later, the thing that sent us to the hospital that was causing us tremendous pain, and we look at it, and it was just a little speck of something we called a kidney stone. But there it was, and it had us doubled over in pain because we could not get rid of it, and maybe needed a little help getting rid of it. We have to learn to get rid of stuff in our lives. If it wasn't for getting rid of stuff, if it wasn't for washing, most of us understand the value of washing our hands, particularly after like using the restroom or before you're going to eat. You wash your hands. You know, if you've been involved in touching things that might be contaminated, then you want to go and you want to wash your hands. If you can't wash your hands, then you're going to use some hand sanitizer or something. But you just want to get rid of the things that are not good for you. And in life, sometimes we got to get rid of things that's not good for us. Our mental health is dependent on our getting rid of things that are not good for us. Every night you go to sleep, hopefully. And when you sleep, at some point, they will talk about the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep. It's a critical part of sleep that it's not just superficial, but you get deeper in there. You're going to be able to dream. Other things happen there. But it's while you are in this REM sleep that the brain is washed in chemicals that wash things out from the day. Wash out memories that are not needed. Wash out experiences that are hurtful. Wash out stresses that we can't deal with, that have built up. It's got to wash itself out from the stress of the day that will not help us when we're having to face another day. And it prepares the mind for a new day. It's why we have dreams that don't make sense. Why you turn the corner and open the door to your home, and next thing you know, you were in London. And how did that happen? And then you're talking to somebody that was like 6 years ago. And it's a mishmash. It's part of the washing process that your brain is going through. It's mixing all kinds of memories together, and it's learning to flush things out of your system. Bible references this when it talks about some of the dreams that we have that are related to the busyness of the day. It's why sometimes nightmares come, because we're trying to relive the past and we're still trying to process things. The brain working to rebalance itself and to refocus itself. But God gave a promise to those who set their affection on Him. In Psalm 127:2, when He said, He gives His beloved sleep. Why? Not just for physical restoration, but mental, emotional restoration as well. Research demonstrates how adequate sleep positively impacts obesity or weight loss, hypertension, diabetes, lots of other things. Health.com will list numerous positive effects of REM sleep, including improved memory, longer life, inflammation being diminished, creativity that gets invigorated, physical performance, mental performance, sharper attention span, healthier weight, lower stress, less accidents, less likelihood for depression. The list goes on, but it's the power of sleep. Why? Sleep has a way of helping you to get rid of stuff. So that when you are at the end of your day, sometimes you've just had enough. And you can't deal with anymore. You can't deal with people. You can't deal with another task. You're ready just for a little bit of a break. And part of that break, what you really need, it's not just to watch the next episode of that season you're following. It's to get into a place where you can be washed. Real sleep. Typically, they tell us that we experience 6 segments of sleep per night. The first 5, the brain is focused on physical repair, repairing things in the brain, like the hippocampus, part of the brain that can lose up to a third of its size. And it's got to be repaired and grown out again and things made right. The last segment is when most of the mental recovery, the mental repair, and renewal occurs. So we go through life, and there's not a one of us that suffer, that goes without suffering. Every one of us suffers. We endure hurts. We wrestle with bitterness, lack of forgiveness. Somebody's done us wrong. We've had failures. We face temptations. We've given in to some of our lusts at times. We face disappointments. And so as a result of all of this, sometimes we have a skeleton in our closet because we had a moment of pride that we acted on. Maybe we acted out of jealousy or envy, a lust that worked, an impulsive action, an impulsive word that was spoken, a destructive choice that we made. And so we've got skeletons in our closet. Sometimes we built ourselves up, or somebody else built up in us a hope for something, an anticipation, an expectation for something, only for it to come crashing down. We have shattered dreams. We have broken relationships. Our hearts get broken. And in all of this, you've got to find a way to get rid of the trash. Or you're going to be like the hoarder that has so much stuff in your life that you can't hardly operate anymore. And trash everywhere. What's good and what's not, you don't know. Is that laundry clean or dirty? You don't know. But because it's mixed with a bunch of dirty stuff, it's all contaminated. And animals and rodents that run in there. And all of this, all because you didn't get rid of stuff. We have stuff that fills us up. The world is full of stuff. Trash accumulates. You don't have to work to get trash. It just happens. Just hang around a little bit. After the trash man comes and takes everything out, just wait a few days, and the kitchen trash is full again. And the bathroom trash is full again, and you look, and somebody's got to take it out to the trash can or to the dumpster or whatever, and it just happens. You don't have to do anything to get trash, and so it is in life. You don't have to do anything to get trash in your life. It just happens. Wrongs that are done, things you have to endure, slight aggressions, minor aggressions, microaggressions people put off on you, things that you do to yourself, because you have a sinful nature too. You don't even need the world to put trash on you, but the world's the greatest trash machine that's ever existed. I don't mean environmental trash. I mean spiritual trash. You got to find a way to get rid of the hang-ups. You got to find a way to release the offenses, or otherwise it's going to build up with an overwhelming guilt that you cannot function with. And you begin to live life trying to defend the various aspects of shame that are there in your life. And so all these things trigger you. They trigger your anger. And you respond viciously to somebody before you even have a chance to recognize it. You respond in panic and in fear and in other things towards lusts of different kinds. You respond with greed because of insecurity. You respond in a number of different ways. Why? All because of shame in different parts of your life that you've never let go of. And without getting rid of things, it builds up into a heavy weight. It can be of depression, fear, panic attacks, angry outbursts, self-destruction. All kinds of ways we get trash. Sometimes we make a choice out of our own stubbornness, our own rebellion. And then, Brother Patrick talked about it earlier today, we just have trouble because of pride. And so, because of that pride, we have trouble just correcting our path. But you got to find a way to get rid of the trash in your life. One person I know never forgave her fiancé for an indiscretion. Destroyed that relationship out of the hardness of her own heart. And then had a hard time correcting after that for a while. And a lot of hurt, shame, loneliness. For somebody else, it's a divorce. For somebody else, it's a false allegation. For some, it's being fired from a job. For others, an embarrassing situation. Sometimes we feel guilty because of our actions or our decisions. Maybe those actions or decisions caused harm for somebody else. Sometimes we feel abandoned. We have a goal that's not achieved. We are forgotten. We've been rejected. There's a lot of pain there. We're ignored, ostracized. Most of us have endured some bullying. We've learned what it feels like to be despised or be hated by somebody. But those things, if we don't let them go, they fester like a wound and become an infection. You got to learn to let some of this go. Although some things can happen in the natural, we can learn to bag up trash and get rid of it. We can learn with our bodies to get rid of certain wastes, certain toxins. Learn to sweat it out. Learn to use the restroom. Learn whatever it is, but learn to get rid of certain things so that your body can operate in a more healthy manner. Sleep, I mentioned that. But sometimes you can only get rid of certain trash by being washed from it. You've got to get into the presence of God. And getting into the presence of God isn't a locality thing. It's not a geographic thing. You could go where the presence of God is moving and everybody around you be worshiping and touching God, and you stand there unmoved. Sometimes we need God to move the immovable. Yeah, because what's immovable is us. We have to learn to work towards Psalm 61. David said, "Hear my cry, O God, attend to my prayer. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. And when my heart is overwhelmed," where do I need to go? "Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been a shelter for me and a strong tower from mine enemy. I'll abide in your tabernacle, and I'll trust in the covert of your wings." David had a lot of trash that built up in his life. And at some point, he realized that trash had cost him a lot. Committed adultery and worked to orchestrate the murder of one of the greatest heroes that Israel had at that time, one of David's mighty men, and it just, one thing led to another. It's from bad to worse, and finally God rescued David by sending him a prophet to tell him, "David, you've got a problem. You've got some trash in your life that you've got to get rid of." Yeah, we want to hold on to it. But if it's sin, we just need to let it go. We want to hold on to it. But if it's a lust that is not in line with the Spirit of God, we got to let it go. And so David ended up saying, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Something that he realized, I need to be cleansed. Sometimes something gets really filthy and dirty, and it takes some scrubbing. It takes some elbow grease. You got to work it over good. This is what David is saying. "God, work me over good. Whatever it takes, cleanse the inside of me. The part of me that others can't reach. The part of me that I can't reach. If you'll let your blood wash me, I'll be whiter than snow. If you will cleanse me, if you'll search me out." Hallelujah. God told the people of Israel, he said, "Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. For though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. And though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool." If you'll stand with me. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the trash in your life. And that's why you've got to get to where you get to an altar and where you can lay things out before God. Pray until you've broken through. Pray until the knee has bowed. Pray until the heart is surrendered. Pray until the tears fall. Pray until you are engaged. "God, I need something to cleanse me out. Something to wash me completely." James wrote to the church and he said, "Submit yourselves therefore to God." Oh, that's what we got to do. Submit yourselves to God. Resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. We recognize that these directions, they go together. But he continues. He says, "Draw near to God, and he'll draw near to you." Again, that's not a locale thing. It's a heart thing. You got to move your heart towards God. The songs we sing, that's what they're designed to do. The times of worship, that's what they're designed to do. You cannot just sit there non-responsive. It's God, move the immovable. Break the unbreakable. God, I believe You said, I believe it. Cleanse me. Wash me. Cleanse my heart. He goes on to say, cleanse your hands, you sinners. Cleanse it. Wash, because you need a washing. Purify your hearts, you double-minded. It takes a purification. Purification. I wonder if you'd join me here in the front. Say, Jesus, I'm here for you. I need a washing. I need a cleansing. I need a purifying. Hold on to my hurt? No, I got to let it go. But it wasn't even my fault. I still got to let it go. All it's doing is causing me hurt, causing me pain. But I was done wrong. Got it? It's still trash in your life. It's a poison. You just got to let it go. Jesus is here right now. Reach out and touch him. Cast all your care upon him. Why don't you just lift your hands to Jesus right now? Say, Jesus, I'm here for you. I need a washing, God. I need a cleansing from the fountain. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as wool. Though they be red as crimson, hallelujah. He'll wash them. He'll wash them. Come be washed in the blood of the Lamb.
Take me to that place, Lord, to that secret place where I can be with you, and you can make me like you. Wrap me in your arms, wrap me in your arms, wrap me in your arms. Take me to that place where, to that secret place where I can be with you. You can make me like you. Wrap me in your arms. Wrap me in your arms. Wrap me in your arms. There is a God who loves me.